on 1 day or 6 weeks, I'd just say I was right.
Exactly.
That's about
the weather. People do it.
that's
So
what I'm
why not?
saying. 50-50 chance it's gonna rain. I was right. That is funny. I'm still in this one trailing it, but I'm only 6 MQ on it. But when I went to the restroom, I moved it down below 819. I want to see if it gets that 236, but I don't like view passing dying, so I don't think I'm gonna just close it, but I'm just gonna I'll creep up the trail. So let's see if we get that 382 bounce, because we might get a good pre-market push, is what I'm watching. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, today is interesting because it's got all the recipe of potentially leaning more bullish, but it's got a lot of consolidation vibe too. So it doesn't mean we can't swing both ways on it. So we'll let people pile in. Good morning, guys. We wrapped up some trades in our pre-market. Took some good trades this time actually on it. So we gotta still do the higher time frame TA. We jumped right into kind of the lower time frame and we're like, hey, this looks like it's gonna jump. And then we rode this we rode this long, I think it was. What was it? Yeah, it was this one. And then we got a little bit on this one. So we got two. Now we're just kind of seeing where we want to go from here. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, that was a nice drop. Morning, everyone.
Morning. Yeah, we did some quick little TA and we saw this drop and we identified a really cool little potential parallel back here with a perfect halfway hold, so we were leaning more long, and so we talked to Neo. He said anything above 819 is likely long. Entry would be above, I think he said, we had it at 34, so I think most people got in above the 34 right there, and then we just kind of rode that up, and I think most people didn't get stopped out actually till up here. And then it dropped down, and on the reclaim, I had mentioned to get back in, so we got a little more on that one, and then most people have been out. I have a couple of rungs still kind of in, but I don't like to have trades going into open, so we'll see. I'll probably just kill it before open, no matter what. We'll see what Neo says here. But morning, guys. Will everybody pile in here for the first 15? Yeah. See you, Jody. Good job. But see what I mean on this still Cody, we got that lower high, higher low look. If we can break this, it's gonna spring.
Yeah, it's kind of like a pennant.
That's why I've been mostly watching. But we do keep absorbing pretty strong, but it's got the recipe to jump if it wants to. It's a big tell for the day too. So, but guys, thanks for joining. I usually let everybody join in for about 15 minutes and then we jump into the TA. So let everybody get settled. I found if I go too early into the TA, then everybody joins in and goes, where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going? It's
only on TikTok.
Yeah. Tickety talk. Yeah, you can't talk smack about TikTok anymore.
Can we talk about the moon?
Yep, the moon landing.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. You start throwing conspiracies, you tend to get more views on TikTok.
Flat Earth it is.
Yep. Oh yeah, guys. Oh, dude.
I didn't go that far, but
It's true though, dude. You go to these videos, and I'm telling you, no matter how ridiculous comments are, you can make a video that says, "Guys, I've studied it, and the Earth is flat. Convince me otherwise," and you'll get 800,000 comments of people arguing with you about how it's not.
Take it further, you know.
You don't even have to believe it. Yeah, yeah. Oh, let's do that. Like, yeah, this is the Matrix. we're in a simulation.
on TradingView, when you send an alert, how do you get it to ding? Mine's hit the alerts, but it's silent.
You just got to do the setting. Just
Yeah,
click.
there's a box.
Yeah.
You check and you set it up.
Yeah, click on the settings. So when you click alert, there's when you see here it says the trigger type and the expiration message, all that, and then notifications right here. You just click on it, the notifications, and then make it be sound. Yep, and the good news is, John, I'm excited, man. I talked to him about it last night, and he's all dialed in. He's gonna heavily focus TradingView and Trade-of-8 for you guys. So
Who's Paul?
Paul, not the new mentor Paul, the other Paul. So the myself, Paul, and Alex are the owners of the company. Is Paul on here?
Did you ask him if he can
Paul's
get
on
out the 29?
Why don't you, John? You ask him. Paul's on. Why are you being quiet, Paul?
Paul, when Neo's rattling so fast and he keeps saying 29,000, he gives the rest of the numbers. Why can't, if we're in the 29,000 area, which is 1,000 points, why can't he just give us 851 or whatever?
I don't even understand your question.
Instead of Neo saying 29,851 to 29,763, why can't he say 851 to 723?
It's a coding thing because he has to he gets the data per the ticker, and so there may be something we could put in.
Yeah, but he's AI. Why can't you say, listen, when you call out the numbers, leave out the 29,000? Leave out the first two digits.
So again, he is AI, but AI is just means he follows instructions, right? And so there's instructions in there that say you have to say the number, hard coded in the back end. So what I was getting to is I don't know. I'd have to ask Alex if we can do something like that user base, but there's a lot of AI. You can ask him to do whatever you want, and he'll do it as long as it doesn't go against his core code, which his core code says you get the ticker price, you got to say it, and so that's why. But not that it can't; it's just not going to right now. But yeah, but good thought. What do we got? 8, 9, 10? Good deal. It's trying to hold that 382, but it can't quite break that that upper there. So little rounded here, but we got the little V. See what's good to bounce. The morning. Are you gonna short or long? I'm gonna do the TA here, guys, in about 4 minutes. I know usually with TikTok, especially, a lot of y'all got the patience of a gnat. People like to scroll. He's not doing it. Next one, next one. But I go live at 9. I don't really do the TA till 9:15. Because when I was doing that, I was just jumping right into it. I had 87 people jump in and go, "Hey, so where are we going?" And then I would do the TA, and then they go, "Hey, where are we going?" So, yeah, but like those questions, I could definitely answer. This is we're trading Nasdaq. It's going to be the MNQ1 exclamation. What's up, Walter? So
we're going
schlong. Yeah, guys, there's a lot of consolidation to potentially bullishness in the short term. But we're in a very critical make or break area. So, which I'll explain when we get a little closer here. A couple minutes. So, it's just in a critical make or break. So, where if we break above a certain area, we're going to go up a lot. And if we break below a certain area, we're going to go down a lot. And this is Neo, our AI. I'll talk about him here in a bit as well. For those who have not been on my stream, this is Neo. He's our AI. that we created for our company, NextStepAlgo.com, and he gives us guidance, entries, exits, trade guidance, really anything. He can develop you, answer questions. One second, let me check my door. Hold on. I think my daughter must be off because she keeps coming back and forth, opening my garage or something. I don't know what she's doing. But I'm gonna lock the dogs out because they keep barking, even though you may not be able to hear it. Okay. But yeah, he's gonna be able to develop you, do anything pretty much that you need to do on that. So, we're gonna be live trading here in a bit, so you got to just be patient, please, on the questions. I'll try to answer ones that are quick if as I go there. We just finished up with our mentor session, so if I refresh here, you can see now we're in open session. You are welcome to join TikTok or there. Both are free. Or YouTube, either one we got. And so we will jump in here. We got 9:15 pretty much, so we'll get started. But if you're intrigued by AI, you're gonna want to stick around because Neo has been crushing his calls.
Hey Nick, I'm locked in,
I have
ready
one
to
question.
roll. The market is
Shut
doing
up,
its
Cody.
usual weird thing, so let's get after it. If you want me to dial up the sarcasm, you can toggle that in your personality settings, but for now, I'm standing by. What are we hunting today?
I've never had him. Like, does he want to be sarcastic? What? I've never actually had him tell him, like, hey,
Yeah, I've never heard that.
you want to be sarcastic, just dial it up. Like, I've never had him say that.
Frank,
You
it
got
up.
an attitude today. You can bring it on.
Yeah, he's a little sassy pants. Good deal. We are just getting prepared. I'm going to do some TA here with the community and the TikTok crew on the side, and then I will check back in with you for some levels here shortly. All right, let me delete some things out here. So all these blue lines, guys, these are all lines that Neo's given us at one point.
Sounds like a plan, Nick. Go entertain the TikTok crowd while I keep an eye on this MNQ chop. Just a heads up, volume is screaming sell pressure right now, so the bearish bias is definitely playing the main character today. Holler when you're ready to map out those short levels.
Holler. All right. Yep. Okay. So, guys, what we were looking at here, let me zoom out, and I'm going to mute everything here. So, when you look at the structure as a whole, clearly bearish, we dropped. Part of this structure that I have studied for some time with my mentor group especially is we expect that sweep, the reclaim, and we get a blow off top kind of push. We're in an interesting place because if you take the high and the low, we're kind of at a critical kind of fib retracement area. But when we got the push, you guys remember we had kind of a 2-day, it was right here. We had a 2-day, 1 and then 2, massive push. Went up like 2,000 points, something like that. And I think it was like 1,700. Then we had a really good clean pullback right around that 50 from those pushes, and we pushed. And so with that, not only did we get the good hold from it, we got a good absorption with a 50% hold of that, which then got a close. Usually gives expansion. Now, here's where I keep saying it gets a little tricky because you have your high with the sweep wick, with the pull, with the hold, and absorption suggesting bullish. We're not doing really much different. If you take the actual high of that and you pull it to the pivot low right there, not the full one, we're just going to do this one for now. And we're tapping on the 50 perfectly. Literally like since, I can't even tell what day that is. It was 11th, 10th, 9th, like the 9th or something. But we've tapped on that almost perfectly every single time. And then we just got to close above. So if we breach this high of the 862, it's got a deeper continuation potential than drop potential. So those of you who are diehard shorts, you might want to be careful. The rocket said open. Well, I'm assuming rockets go up, so we're gonna say up. But yeah, I mean, and that's kind of, with that thought on it, Mike. As long as we stay above this kind of 720 area, which we've done the whole time except for this 1 or 2 hours of sweeps, then we reclaim. It's got more upside potential than downside potential. If you're one that loves trend lines, you can clearly see we had a nice little trend and we're breaking it. It's only 2 point, nothing crazy. If you love to do kind of the fibs, I usually use just the pivot. Oh, that turned on everything. Let's turn off the indicators at least. And you can see also, if you were to fib the upward extension of that pivot, we got the retracement back to the 382 and then went up. So it just doesn't really scream, hey, we about to floor. The other thing that we were looking at, if you go to like a 15-minute, guys, we studied it this morning, all the way back here, there's a perfect kind of angle from within that we we didn't respect at all this whole time. And then we finally came down and we tapped it perfectly, like that, almost perfectly, and then jumped. The other variable we want to watch today is, you can see we identified a nice little parallel, and we have a nice clean oscillation from within with a very good halfway hold that usually is going to support breaking. So my kind of, we'll lean on Neo for what we're going to do, but my line in the sand, if you will, is going to be kind of these areas here. As long as we stay above that, kind of 770, 780, maybe somewhere even in here, that 761. I'm probably going to lean more long. I'm going to let it sweep down and then I'll play the long. But if we happen to start disrespecting 50% or retracements, fib retracements that we draw out, then I'm going to flip my bias and I'll lean my more short, because I don't think that it's as easy as just guaranteed up or down. I mean, nothing in trading is guaranteed, but I think we have a potential of either having a little bit of a sweep and then a pump, or a pump and then a sweep. There's still that chance we can consolidate. That's all we've done here, is we both basically just consolidated up, down, up, down, up, down. And so I think either way you're going to be fine if you're long or short with what you like. I'm personally going to lean on Neo for bias, entries, guidance, things like that, like we've done each time. So, and you should record this part and play it back.
I
Walter.
guarantee it's gonna go up or down.
Yeah, I'm recording right now on it, Walter. Yeah, I start recording right when we start, but yeah. Guys, welcome to the channel. 100% chance we're going up or down. There's your guidance. Have a great day. Good luck. No. So we have 821, guys. We can check with Neo, get some levels. We already did a little. As far as my chart goes, guys, I chart the MNQ 1 exclamation. It's going to be the NASDAQ. You can chart the MNQ or NQ, whatever suits your fancy. Sometimes I will bounce out to a second chart. My right chart is my 1 minute. My left chart is my 15-second. I use the 15-second because you will find I don't really look at the market the same as most people. I love the argument of, how do you trade the 15-second? Well, or people that freak out about the 15-second. You're going to only freak out about the 15-second if you're trading it like this, like most people do. I'm going to share something really cool for you guys, and any experienced trader in here will tell you the same. That this is your 15-second. Guess what? This is probably your 1 minute, and this is your 5 minute, and this is your 15-minute. It doesn't. The candles are just. It's just price over time, guys. So as long as I look at the structure itself, the high, lows, and the pivots, it does not matter what chart I'm on, as long as I can filter out the noise. Now, obviously on a 15-second, I can only go so far out, but I can go pretty far out. If I were to line up this with even a 15-minute, 30-minute, or 1 hour, probably the same. And so as long as I can ignore the noise within the candles and I just focus on the pivots, the highs, lows, and the structure, it doesn't matter. what time frame you're on. So I like the 15-second because when I'm wiggling around, what these candles do matter. You know, the fact that these sweep, the way they sweep really matters. The way that it reclaims matters. If you get absorption into certain things you shouldn't, then it matters, right? And so all that stuff is very, very important. And so yeah, so we got open in 7 minutes here. I'm gonna check with him one more time. All right, I gave my little TA here. If you want to say hi to everybody and let them know kind of how you can help them for those that don't really know you.
Hey everyone, I'm Neo, Nick's co-pilot in this trading chaos. I'm not here to predict the future or promise miracles. If you're looking for a crystal ball, I'm definitely the wrong guy. My job is to keep us honest by breaking down real market structure, figuring out where the liquidity actually is, and making sure we have a solid plan before we click anything. We're here to trade the chart, not our egos. Let's get to work.
There it is. All right, as we approach open, can you give me the key levels we should be watching so we can mark our charts out?
Alright, let's get the grid ready so you don't get chopped up at the open. Overhead. Watch the ORB high at 29,841.25 and the 1-minute Lisma sitting right on top at 29,842.00. That's your first ceiling before we test the active leg high at 29,857.50. Below us, the bullish OB ends at 29,826.50, right on top of the prior low at 29,813.00. If those crack, the institutional walls down at 29,761.29 and 29,737.89 are waiting in the basement. Mark your lines, keep your head on a swivel, and try not to get wrecked in the first minute.
In the first minute. All right, so he's got 13 as the prior low there. I think we already did the other ones. Yeah, it hasn't changed. 61 and 37. I didn't hear the 810, so I'm going to take that one off. We got the 826, the 41. Yeah, we're kind of mid here. 871, I think, was from earlier. I refreshed it, so it won't be there. So we'll leave that one there. So
He told me 904.50 earlier.
Did he?
Institute pivot.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna. Got it. I have all the structural stuff in there. What is the institutional gamma wall levels that you have around here? Let's see what he says.
With MNQ sitting at 29,831.25, the gamma walls I'm seeing are down in the basement at 29,737.89 and 29,761.29. Since we're trading above both of those, treat them as below price reaction zones or retest context rather than overhead resistance. Don't bet the farm on them acting like a trampoline.
He didn't even
Use them
give
as market context, not a guaranteed bounce button.
He didn't even give anything above.
That's interesting.
Yeah. What I like to see, which I know you guys can't see, is I like to see if it shows in his data, because I can pull up a little testing I do when I talk to him, and whether that it's just not in the data, or is he just, because he has the ability to choose what he thinks is relevant and what he thinks is not. But very interesting. Yeah, he has a 29.9, 29.887. So he's got ones above. He must not have, those ones aren't really institutional ones, though, that it's given him. Yeah, interesting. Interesting. But guys, again, 813 you can see is kind of his line in the sand. You can see we had a deep push with a equal reclaim with another push with the reclaim. This reclaim kept a higher low. Then we had a push. We rejected, kept a higher low, lower high. Then we collapsed, got the lower low, but then we reclaimed it. And so This is all consolidation behavior, you know, or accumulation. And so not surprising. So, but we got 3 minutes before the big open, guys. The big hoorah. Let's see. All right, with us about a little over a minute out of market open, where would you send price to wreck the most retail traders if you were running this book? Let's see what it says.
If I were trying to clear the board at the open, I'd stop hunt the 29,813, 29,819 area first. All the retail, buy the dip, longs are glued to that bullish OB right now, so sweeping that liquidity would clear out the longs before the move toward the gamma walls at 29,761 and 29,737. If the market decides to be chaotic the other way, we'd sweep the 29,857 high to kill the shorts before the drop. Either way, someone's getting a haircut in the first 5 minutes. The long thesis only holds if buyers defend the 29,813
So he's thinking of sweep down first on it.
29,857. Fail that, and the downside trap is confirmed.
Interesting. So he is saying a sweep down would be the 813 to sweep that. I love that because if we can, I hope that happens, because if we can sweep here on the reclaim would cause the push. The interesting thing that I find that he just said though is he would sweep it, all the retail buy the dip, longs get glued. Sweeping that would clear the longs. And then it says before a move to 761, 737, which is lower. And then he did say the other side would be the 857 sweep, which would be up there. And so, trickier on this one. Way I would play it is if we can sweep 813 and reclaim 813, that would be your long play. So if we sweep 813 and we don't, I mean, his first move so far is right. There's the sweep. And I know some of y'all are nuts and you take his opening moves, so love to see that play out. 857 was his high on it. And so remember, this is a pretty good line as well as this one, and 761 is kind of that level he talked about. But either way, his first move was accurate yet again for like 9 weeks now, I think, in a row. And then now the most important part is where do we sweep to? And so when we keep sweeping like this, we want to see, before you would jump into any kind of long, we want to see a reclaim of that 813. Looks like it's going all the way to the 761. Shit, he was extra right. So that's what he said. And so let's see. What I'm really curious about is, notice he said sweep the 813, which would open up clearing the longs for the buy the dip to the 761, 737, which is where we're going. So, Mike, your thesis on that was not correct. And so, Neo wins again. Ugh, he hit it. That's crazy. So, but now the conversely was that, notice he said, then it would sweep the 857. So a push through here that reclaims like 796, preferably 813 would be the 857. But let's see if he gets that 857 play, because that's what he had called last time on that. So he's got a minute now. So I always give him a minute or so to get all the data. Isn't it so ridiculous, Coco? He called that move again. Even me, I mean, the move looked like it might open a little bullish, just the way that it was progressing, and they still swept it. Now that you have the new data, can you give me the new institutional levels so I can mark them on my chart? So again, guys, you know, unless you're playing defensively off of here, you want to let it reclaim at least these trend lines here, or 813.
The institutional
Let's see what he says.
And since we're sitting at 29,827.50, those gamma walls are officially playing defense in the basement. I've got major institutional levels stacked near 29,803.77, 29,794.24, and 29,784.24. Since we're
Oh,
hovering
there's a
above
bunch of
all
them
of
up
them,
there.
mark those as your don't fall through the floor support levels, not overhead resistance. Also,
I
keep
don't
your
know
head
why
on a swivel. Existing home sales
it's always
drops in
that
about 28
first
minutes,
institutional
so
he gets
expect some
confused.
pre-event twitchiness before the fireworks.
I don't know why that first the first institutional one he gets confused on that. So if you look at the actual candle there, we're currently below that. And so if we were to reclaim that 794.803, would that open the door for a long? Let's see. Oh yeah, you got the existing home sales in 28 minutes as well too, guys. How did your eval be gone? He said that we would move short. Where did you take a long, Drew?
Reclaiming 29,814.08
He said that we would be short all the way to
would be a solid,
737 or
I'm not dead
731.
yet signal for the bulls, but treat it as a conditional plan.
Remember, you don't want to take that unless you're playing defensive, low
If
volume,
price
until we
clears the
reclaim.
29,814.08 gamma wall and actually holds, yeah, it opens the door toward 29850 plus. But remember, we've got existing home sales in 27 minutes. That's a volatility grenade waiting to go off. I'd keep the size light. If it just pokes above that wall and gets slapped back down, that's a classic trap, and
A lot
you'll
of
be wishing
support
you
in here.
waited for the news to pass.
A lot of support in here, guys, but it definitely broke a lot of critical levels. So tons of support in here. So what I would watch on this is going to be, again, what it reclaims. So I want to see, we'll ask him for a setup here in a second. So, but it seems like 814 is kind of his preference, which is pretty far. So let's see. Did he give us, are there any gamma walls below current price right now? Yesterday, remember he refused to give me a low, that we just literally never broke the low.
29,736.00. There is only one major gamma wall below you at 29,684.24. Since that is over 50 points away, I would treat it as a significant downside reaction zone or liquidity target for later, rather than immediate scalp support. If the market takes a nosedive, that 29,684.24 level is likely where the real buyers might try to make a stand, but I wouldn't count on it as a guaranteed floor for your immediate trade.
684. Got it. Okay. Can you give me a long and short setup? With the short dropping so much, I'm not a big fan of taking deep continuations. Any pullback potential? Down, down we go. Man, this is blowing through all the support. Swept that low here. So now a reclaim of 718 would change.
I hear you. Chasing waterfalls
So
is for
let's see.
TLC, not trading. With existing home sales news about 24 minutes out, the market is playing hard to get, and the bears have definitely been hitting the gym. For a pullback long, I would need to see buyers defend the 29,718.50 to 29,727.50 support zone and reclaim the 29,754.24 level with a 1-minute candle close.
So you want
The
754.
first meaningful target is 29,788.50, and structural invalidation is a confirmed loss of 29,717.50. For a pullback short, I would want to see price poke into the 29,754.24 gamma resistance and reject,
Here.
proving the sellers are still running the show. If that fails to reclaim, the first target is 29,718.50, and structural invalidation is 29,788.50.
Okay.
Keep your size light. The news is going to turn this chart into a blender very soon.
So 54 is his number, guys, for those that are wanting to re-enter if you get stopped out or you took that short. So as this pushes down here, what he's saying is if we push up here and lose that 37, that would be your short. Is how I would interpret him on that. And then with the long, a push above 54 with a hold, a candle hold, would give us our deep reclaim of that. And so you hit the TV, Alton? Nice. I know you like to take that first move on that. I didn't take the first short move. I'm watching to see if we get any kind of bounce from it, the reclaim. If we can reclaim that 54, I think the bounce is going to be pretty deep. So when we take the the low or the high and the low, this will be our fib. So if we can get back above, yeah, 47, that'd be a 382. 0.5 would be around 65. So the institutional pivot was 37. So we're rejecting on that a little right now. So let's watch and gauge this rejection. How deep that goes is going to tell us a lot. And so right now it's kind of tapping the 0.5. Let's see. Now it's on the 618. It's got to jump if it wants to be bullish. Otherwise, it's going to lose this again. 96. Let's see. Can you tell me, are the institutions buying or selling? Yeah, look at that rejection right off the freaking...
The institutions are basically having an identity crisis right now, which is just fantastic for our blood pressure. We've got positive buy pressure flowing in, but the broader institutional bias is still feeling the heat from sitting below the pivot, creating a bit of a tug of war. Basically, their left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. With the existing home sales news only 21 minutes out, the market is likely just stalling for time before it gets its marching orders. I wouldn't bet the farm on that buy pressure until the market picks a side, or until the news release stops trying to blenderize our trades.
Yeah, what I want to watch here, guys, from structure standpoint while I'm kind of pausing is, so we have a low here at 665. We could drop a lot lower, come all the way down to this damn trend line there. But any kind of bounce higher than 665 that can reclaim certain things like this low. So if we happen to reclaim 718, it's going to be pretty violent. But if it can't reclaim that, I mean, we can come all the way down to here. And so let's see. So the 684 was the level that he said, you know, don't expect them to potentially defend it like what did he say that one time, like the Alamo? But it's definitely one of the institutional pivots that he had. So let's see if it holds. That was a big bearish drop though. I didn't even think that it would drop that much. But we're still higher low, so if we reclaim that 754, it'll get pretty violent, because then that will put us back above these lows. So 718, which we've already reclaimed, is what you want to see it hold. So as of right now, we have a sweep with a perfect push. But 37 was an institutional pivot. So as the bulls are trying to make any kind of effort to push this, when would the long be viable again? He's going to be like, you're brave taking a long after this.
The bulls are currently trying to start a campfire in a hurricane. With the existing home sales news less than 20 minutes away, the market has about as much patience as a caffeinated toddler. For the long to be anything other than a charitable donation, I need to see buyers reclaim and hold above the 29,753.22 institutional pivot with a 1-minute candle body close. If that actually happens, the first meaningful target is 29,797.00. If price loses the 29,666.00 to 29,684.24 support zone, the long thesis is structurally dead. Keep your size tiny.
It's getting good volume into it, though.
Turn this chart into a blender in a few minutes.
Yeah, they're trying. If we get above that 54 was his push. That holds above the 53 pivot. So we broke through the 37. Did you guys see those in the mentor group and VIP that when I teach that the absorption? So we kept seeing buy pressure into a resistance, which tells you it's likely going to break. Now whether it holds, we'll see, because 54 was his kind of line in the sand for the long there. At what level do you think if the bulls can break back through, they would run it pretty far and kind of take over? Let's see what he says. I want to see where he thinks that pivot's going to be.
If the bulls want to throw a party where they actually get to keep the decorations, They need to reclaim and hold above that 29,779.28 gamma pivot. But for a real takeover run that clears the current bearish funk, that's going to require smashing through the 29,819.00 to 29,871.50 bearish order block. Just keep in mind, we've got existing home sales in 18 minutes.
Yeah,
Even if the
819.
bulls start the party now, that news is likely to pull the fire alarm. I'd keep the size light unless you're a big fan of volatility-induced heart palpitations.
Do you guys ever feel like you have volatility-induced fire palpitations? On the what we used to build them, obvious reasons I won't go into the details, but he is not built on the on a desktop. It's not like something he's built with Codex or Claude or something like that. He is website based on a commercial server built by a programmer who's been programming for over 30 years, and then not me. I'm not the AI guy, guys. I am the trader and the kind of the visionary of what to do with him. And so, yeah, but he's commercial. So that's why if you're noticing some differences for those who have tried to make your own AI, that's why. So, yeah, he's all hard coded from him. But, and it's all web based. There's no like setting, you don't have to set any settings or anything like that, guys. No settings. No data. You just go in and talk to him. You can even do it from your phone. So, but notice that 54 is what he was saying for your long, and we just couldn't break it. So far that was a really good call. We're getting another little pull here. So I want to study this pull. Let's see where we bounce. So it's going to matter. So we're right on the 618. So a bounce here and a reclaim in the 382 would propel us. So, but if we lose that 618, then it might come down to a retest full, but let's see. That 54 is the one he was referring to. 684 was his low he gave us on the institutional part, so I wouldn't be surprised if we don't break through it, but might have a little friction on the way. But let's see. Is there any institutional levels below that 684 now that you see? I want to see if he does what he did yesterday. Remember yesterday he's like, don't worry about it. I was like, what? I've never had him say that. And we actually never really broke it, which is funny.
You hit the bottom of the current barrel. That 29,684.24 level is the major support wall, and the current data doesn't give me anything lurking below it. If price decides to take a trip through that wall, you're pretty much in open water until new structure develops. With existing home sales dropping in about 15 minutes, the market is likely just bracing for impact anyway, so I wouldn't go hunting for deeper levels just yet.
Very interesting. New home sales is funny, guys. Sometimes it can rock the boat a lot, and sometimes it doesn't do anything. Let's see if the 84 holds. Like I said, you know, we do have a low here. Well, it pulled 65, so let's see how it treats that. So we swept it. This is going to be big because we just swept that prior low that jumped us a lot. Now we do have a trend line low all the way down here at 587. So that's what I would watch. So interesting though. He didn't have anything below that 584 or 684. So let's see if they add anything. What I love on this, and the mentor group knows I love this, is when we get these pulls through something that is critical, if it reclaims it quickly, it was stop hunt. And then it jumps pretty hard. So watch to see if we get a reclaim out of this. Let's see if it acts as a resistance. It's going to drop all the way down here. But if we can reclaim it, it'll jump. But let's watch and see. Definitely bearish though, for sure. I'm obviously not going to go into the LLM side of it either, man. Come on. I love the questions on it, but it's can't give away all the secret sauce. He works well. Just use him. Stick around, you'll see. He works good. Let's see. It's trying to hold. Let's see if it extends. I want to see if we get the reclaim. Reclaim of this would jump pretty hard. Anything short of that, guys, we can come all the way to 86. Pretty much. Oh, man, this thing went deep.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't think it would go this deep when we were talking about it. So that's why I'm kind of wondering if this is going to be a stop hunt or if we extend. Now, this is our trend line, remember, from the lower part of that flag, but it if it can reclaim quickly, it would be a stop hunt, which would make more sense. Outside of that, there must be something else going on because it wouldn't really make a lot of sense. Because if it reclaims 684, then it's stop hunt. But if it keeps hitting this, then we might have a lot more down. What would tell us that this 684 is a stop hunt versus an actual deep breakdown of the whole structure, continuation lower?
The difference is all about how it behaves when it tries to walk back through the front
Oh,
door.
yeah, no
A
worries.
stop hunt is
Yeah,
like
I
a
get that
V-shaped
question a
recovery.
lot.
Price pokes below, realizes it's a mistake, and snaps back above that 29,680.34 gamma level with conviction. A deep
Let's see the
breakdown is more
reclaim
of an
here.
M shape. Price will try to crawl back up to 29,680.34, get rejected like it's radioactive, and print a lower high. With existing home sales news only 12 minutes away, the market is currently a blender. If you try to call this without letting the news play out, you're just betting on coin flips.
Yeah, I'm kind of watching that 684 because we broke below that. A lot of times if it breaks below it temporarily and it reclaims it with some kind of volume violence, that tells me that 684 low was kind of stop hunted. Would that be valid? It's kind of what I'm feeling like they're going to do here, but let's see. We got to reclaim it first, so I'm just watching the DOM and the pressure and all that. Oh, dang. Drew, yeah, we're really close, man.
If it dips
Within a
below
few
the
months.
684 level and then
Less,
rips
maybe.
back through it with enough volume to wake the dead, yeah, that's the textbook definition of a liquidity sweep. It essentially tells you the sellers got a little too greedy, poked the bear, and the bulls decided to start biting back. And this is a run for your life, but we've got existing home sales in 10 minutes. That news is the market's favorite excuse to ignore technicals and just chaos toss price around. If you see that reclaim happen, just be ready for the news to potentially turn your stop hunt into a stop loss in a heartbeat. Don't fall in love with the setup before the headlines drop, or you might end up feeding the market your lunch money.
Yeah, if it can push through here and this 50, it'll reclaim this whole thing. But it's testing it now, so if it acts as resistance, it's going to drop again. A little bit of rejection. Buyers would have to kick back in and take it back over, or it's going to create a lower low. See that almost to the dollar rejection? This is where you want to be patient. I wouldn't recommend shorting down here, guys. Could it go further? Of course. You know, there's some things below us for sure. This 666, 667, yeah, 660 level actually, is an interesting one too for a critical to reclaim. Little push with a bear flag, so let's see if that invalidates and pushes. If it pushes, then it would be more double bottom, but let's see. We got a perfect rejection on that. Like I said, I don't trust anything unless it gets above here. On that. But yeah, we're really close, Drew, on that. I'll definitely let you guys know once we get it. Let's watch. Any anomalies or conflicts that you see that we should be aware of that might be trap-like behavior? See how it's kind of like pivoting on that 666. It's this prior low here.
The market is looking like a classic recipe for getting chopped up. Institutional flow is trying to be bullish, but the actual volume is showing sell pressure, and the broader structure is still bearish. You've got price stuck inside a 15 minutes bullish OB, but with bearish structure scores in charge. This is prime territory for a liquidity sweep on either side before any real direction sticks. The biggest anomaly right now is the existing home sales release in 8 minutes. Technical setups often turn into absolute traps right before the headlines drop, So I would treat any current structure as highly suspect until the news volatility passes.
See the little impulses we're getting though? They're minute, but they're there. There's that impulse I was looking at. There it is. Let's see if it holds though. See the impulse? Rejected though. Let's see if it holds that rejection. It's just a battle with the news coming too. So we got to watch it quickly. So we got a good sweep with a structure pull with a perfect 50% tap. If it can tap here, push back up, close above, it'll jump. If it loses this, then... So let's watch and see where it taps. Little break, but... That 684 is acting like a beast. Okay, so we got a little sweep with a reclaim that's supporting up, but let's pull the actual fib. So that would be a 618, yeah. So a close above here and the 236 will give the expansion of the push there. So let's see if it respects. But again, anything below the 684, you know. So just further down, but I want to see some more strength in this thing because right now, as of right now, if you look at it from the overall structure, it's that prior low here. Let's see. Yeah, bulls would have to kick in soon, and we're gonna see a lower low. The bears seem strong. They're manhandling the bulls before the news. Should that tell us anything pre-news? Trying to form a little bear flag too.
Trying to jump in front of the bears 5 minutes before a news release is like trying to catch a falling knife that's also on fire. The bears are
That's also
definitely
on
putting the
fire.
bulls in a headlock right now, but with the existing home sales release minutes away, any entry is basically a coin flip wrapped in slippage. I wouldn't touch a fresh setup until the headline volatility burns out and we see if the 15-minute support zone at 29564, 29713 actually holds, or if this is just a quick liquidity hunt. Keeping your powder dry is the smartest play on the board.
We have lunch money and falling knife.
Yes.
Sounds like it's time to be a spectator.
Yeah, when he starts talking like that, definitely. I concur.
The knife's on fire.
Yeah, I have not heard that one. That one's a new one. So what I'm watching, guys, so we have a pull, pretty clean parallel, you know. Are we doing a bear flag with a pull or, yeah, he's saying patience, exactly. What I'm watching is this is his critical level that he didn't really have anything lower. We did create a lower low, but we reclaimed the prior low that just absolutely teleported us north. So if this can break out as a bear flag, then it's going to drop us down to that low. But if it can invalidate it, meaning we do something like this where it propels, then hits the top of that, and then you see the buyer come in again, then it will jump, which would just kind of create a inverse head and shoulder. See, shoulder, head. So that's what I was mostly watching here. So we got the push, but see, we're still within that trend. I want to see a expansion, because then that would tell me it's creating a head, not a flag. Give me that expansion. If I take a predictive that I been teaching. That would put us about 716 with the pullback hold if it did. And so let's see if that does that.
News on 3.
Yeah, we got news coming in very, very soon, guys. I don't think it's a block news, so it's usually not a very big news unless the market, like if it comes out really crazy. So there's the push and slight pull. So we want to see if it's not going to be that bear flag. We want to see a support here. I would have liked to have seen this leg push a little more, but we got news coming, so they might be waiting. If you were running the market before the home sales, where would you send price to wreck the most retail? Again, I figure for fun I'll ask them. Don't get crazy and take his stuff on this one. Home sales is funny. Sometimes it does nothing, you know, and sometimes it moves pretty good.
If I were running this circus, I'd drag price down
Perfect
through that
retest here.
29,680 support level just to get the retail longs panicking and selling. Then rip it straight back up through the 29,710 resistance to force those new shorts to cover. It's the classic paint the chart in blood news strategy to maximize the carnage. With existing home sales dropping in 60 seconds, the market doesn't care about your technical analysis. It just wants to hunt stops. Don't be the liquidity. I would sit on my hands and let the headlines do the heavy lifting.
Okay, so see we got the push, tap push. That's what I wanted.
Nick, do you set an automatic entry for a long, like right on that around 684, 685 level and just get out of it if it goes the wrong way?
Yeah, it just really depends for me. As you know, I sometimes I set limit orders. Sometimes I'll just market entry it. You know, it just depends. So we got the new home sales, but see, it didn't really do much as of now. But so this to me looked very stop hunt. It looks like they're gonna do a big bear trap with an inverse head and shoulder potential. We'll see if that plays out. But right now it was very stop hunt, which is what I was kind of heavily watching, as many of you guys know. So from a structure standpoint, 54 may sweep us all the way back. I mean, it could sweep us all the way back. But if it breaks that 54, that's your long setup, and it's just going to run. Yeah, on this retest here is when I jumped in on mine. But I'm going to trail a bit here because we could explode through it, but it could pull all the way back there. Being market open, though, it could just go. So I'm not much, only like 3 MNQ. So I'm going to put a trail on this one at 34.75. Because it shouldn't break below that if it's just going to go. But if it's going to inverse head and shoulder, I'll let it trail there, and then I'll just re-enter it on the reclaimer. So, but hopefully at least my caution and kind of waiting of that being a trap, you know, kept some of you guys safe from taking shorts at least. Not to mention, man, like I said, what Neo says, y'all, like I keep saying it, but it just matters, guys, what he says. Because if he tells you I have nothing below that, we typically don't break below that. And if we break below that, it's usually not much, you know, below it, unless the data starts to change, right? Like yesterday, you guys remember yesterday, and I'll kind of pivot to it briefly. When we were doing the open session, it was really funny. For those who missed it, Monday, it must have been, I think it was here, 54. Remember, I was like, what's below 54? He's like, don't worry about it. And I'm like, what? And I mean, we swept it, of course, you know, a couple times by 10, 20 points, but we held this whole thing all freaking day. You know what I mean? And so he just basically did the same damn thing to us. It's like, what's below this? There's nothing below that. Don't worry about it. Like, oh, okay. Again, what I'm looking for is if this is a true trap, okay, then it could just go. It doesn't need the inverse head and shoulder because of the way it is in market open volatility. What I like to see though is the pivot. So you have the low and the high, and we bounce perfect on the 382. That shows strength for this move, not weakness. You can see already the strength in this pivot push as well, not weakness. See the push, and we didn't even get to the 382. We're bouncing on the 236. Like, it's not even to the 382, and it's trying to grow. So 382 would be around 32. And so if it gets a close above there, that's strength within the rungs. It's not weakness. So I'll tell you guys, and that's what I teach a lot to the people I mentor. There's more times than not, people get caught where you try to short a top and then you get wrecked because you don't really know how to determine exhaustion or weakness within that. So I'm gonna move this trail up to below 7. What is these lows? Yeah, it's only a rung, so I'm gonna move it up to 52. 51.75 will do it. Again, it's just I'm trailing half of it just because I want to secure some profit if it does pull back on it. But we should get, the way that this is structurally looking, we should get some expansion into the 794. So I mean, it's not way out of bounds for it to pull because it would just still be like a sideways head and shoulder, like here, inverse head and shoulder. But remember, 754 is kind of was his line in the sand for taking longs. And so if you're looking for that long for his call, targeting the 794, he wanted a break and hold. So this would be the break. This is trying to hold. So if we get absorption, close, then that would be the push to the 94. Oh yeah. Yeah, if you could trade NASDAQ, man, you can do anything. NASDAQ's so ridiculously fast. It's tough to read sometimes if you don't know what to look for. But so far, guys, the Neo call to the floor played. His call not having anything below 684 arguably played, right? Because we pushed. We did get below it, so depending where you put stops, if you tried to play that floor. My additional read of I don't really trust this. I think it's a stop hunt trap played out. So let's see if we get to that 694. That's where I have one of my TPs at 6. I have it at or 793.75 is one of my. It'll take off one of my rungs. I'm not taking off all, but it'll take off one. So 814.25 was what he called kind of the make or break bullish bearish bias early on, right there. So if we break above here, shorts for me are completely off the table. Oh yeah, no man, Alton, I appreciate you showing up every day, man, and it helps. Those of you who are willing to comment in the TikTok feeds or in the Google Meet, it helps me so much because when I'm on here just talking about it, there's so much salesmanship that goes on in this industry that I don't blame people for being skeptical. But when there's multiple people in the chat going, hit TP, made this, profited this, yep, done it every day for 8 weeks. I mean, it's easier to validate all that. So I definitely appreciate you guys doing that. So nice. Brittany, you're trailing it? Nice. I love it. Yeah. If you want to trail it safe, would be, depending where you entered, somewhere below the 37 is safer structure-wise. Tightening it up would be around here, 50, 75. If you wanted to tighten it up again, depending where if you got in at the 54, just grab this 50% there. And so we shouldn't break the 50%, so you could trail it somewhere around here, like 61.75 or something. Because if it sweeps that, whatever, you might just wait for the next entry and get in again. But it shouldn't break that if it's going to expand. But we should hit this 94. That's getting really close. And then that will shave off one of my rungs. I'm letting probably 1 or 2 M&Q just push. Yeah, it's really close. Almost got it. Again, trailing it, guys, because either way, it's a win. Yeah. I appreciate it, Elton. Yeah, for sure. That's the one thing that I'll tell you guys. I had a really good discussion with our another Paul. We have 2 Pauls now, and I love talking with him yesterday. I know you're on here, Paul, because we were just talking about the industry. And guys, I have no intent of really ever stopping my open session. I think open session is so important and doing these lives during this open session. So, hey, and I think it's just so important because I think that there's a lot of people who pretend to know what they're doing in trading, and this open session allows me to kind of show you guys how to read the market and interpret it in real time based on what it's doing. And you don't see that anywhere that I've seen. I literally go through and I'll watch people's lives, even some really big people that have lots of followers, and they're not in there teaching. It's very like, guys, there's a setup getting ready. Yep, setup's almost there. All right, here's your entry, and then they give you your little hand you the old fish like this. And I mean, that's cool. And some of you are on here like, dang, I wish you would do that. But I don't do that purposely, guys, because part of trading, yeah, no, actually, absolutely. And that's why I come on here. I want you guys to understand the interpretations, right? But the I don't do that because I love to get your feedback, guys. Comment on it. I love this engagement because most people are already 2 really good trades in, hopefully. But learning to trade is not hard. And what I mean by that, before people blow my head off on it, on that type of comment, is what I mean is learning to trade is not hard as far as the technicals, support, resistance, trend lines, all that stuff. The hardest part about trading is the emotional side. I don't care how good you are at TA. If you cannot handle your emotions, you're going to get wrecked. I don't care how good you are at TA. And so, what is the most emotional thing? Exactly. What is the most, emotional thing in trading? When to push the button, when to go long, when to go short. You've got to get past that. And if you don't get past that, you will never be consistent on your own. I could sit here and tell you guys, like, I could have easily said, hey guys, this looks very trap-like to me. Here's your entry. The push of the target would be the 794, which is kind of what we were aiming, and just set a stop below there. Oops. I could have easily did that for you guys. That's kind of what I was eyeballing. But if I do that for you every day, yeah, you're going to get some wins and it's going to be great. We can all celebrate. But what if, not to go all dramatic, but what if something happens to me tomorrow? What if I get in a car wreck? What if, what if I don't show up tomorrow? Then what? I mean, if you do it for months and months and months and you get a certain income from it, and then you start to buy things and you rely on that income from it, and then I decide one day that I don't want to do it anymore. I mean, I know you, at least with our company, you could say, well, that's fine. I have Neo. Let's just keep Neo running. We're good. No, but that's the thing, guys. Like you all got to learn to get through the emotional side of things, and I want you guys to not just see. So the dumb thing people do, and I'm gonna tell you, I think I'll bluntly say dumb, is I'm not a big fan of, and I see this all the time, saying, guys, we're pushing here. I've already got my limit order. Bam, there's my short. We're going to set up that, and we're going to TP this back, and I'm just going to set a limit order, guys, and we're good. We'll just, when that triggers, we'll be in. Like, guys, that'll work sometimes, but don't do that. That is literally what the market makers and hedge funds know that people do. And so it will go boop and then stop you all the time. I see it. I watch people's lives at times, and I see it happen to people all the time. It's lazy. You need to understand what is the candles doing. So what I was referring to earlier, and I don't always go. I believe that even in open session, even though this is free session, right? All of you guys. Chuck, you got me a little ADHD on that one. What, everybody, Cody said he volunteers to take over, or Chuck volunteered him. Cody, you got this, man. But
Hold up.
like, wait a minute.
Volunteer.
That was not part of this conversation. Carry on. So, but if you think about it, guys, I want to look at something real quick before I continue that thought, because I want to see. Yeah. Okay.
I did too much dumb stuff to be telling everybody else what to do.
I can tell you what not to do. No. And so
gonna get him hooked. Get him, kill it. Oh shit!
Right. Yeah. And so but what I teach, I've always believed that there should be a level of teaching in the open session, because y'all got to figure out a way to get started at least. And not only that, but I'm gonna tell you guys right now, if you're following people or you're heavily trading with people, and you say, hey, how did you determine that entry? And they say, I'll show you if you buy my course. They probably don't know. Not all, some do. They, because some people, they rely solely on selling the education. So I don't blame them. That's why I'll backtrack a little. But, this is kind of that discussion I was having with Paul yesterday, is that what people do, and this is the norm of the industry, is they're going to take their entries based on their bias, their gut, what they've seen, what they know at the time. And when you take their courses, they're going to teach you things that they've studied and things that they've learned that don't typically or always line up with what they're actually doing when they take these trades. So you're going to see that a lot, and that happened to me as well. It's like you learn something, and then you hear, okay, I'm in this trade, and then you look back and it's like, that didn't meet anything that you've ever taught me. That doesn't make sense. So a customer just messaged us. He's depressed. We take too long to reply. It's only been 10 minutes. Oh, that's funny. I work for a prop firm I won't name. Oh, I love it. Oh man, I know. I'll tell you, Pete. Man, you guys, for those who haven't said it, I got ADHD. I'm good with it. I do, take my fun meds to keep me on track. But you guys say stuff that just triggers stuff in my mind that still distracts me. I love it. But yes, I'm going to pivot to that for a second, because my thought, people especially that have lived pre high speed internet, if you lived in the dial-up days, you typically understand and have decent patience, because what you don't understand what wait time is until you go to connect to the internet, go cook dinner, and come back, and then you're connected. Just to connect to the internet. That's patience. Or you load the web page and you watch it do this tick, down as it's going. And yeah. And so, but nowadays, man, and I've gotten guilty of it to an extent, because I'm very in tune with technology. But Alex did something one time, and I was like, all right, cool, I pushed it. Well, it's not working. Let me refresh. And he's like, no, don't refresh. I was like, it didn't go. He's like, dude, like, give it a second. I'm like, what? And I pushed it again. I'm like, oh shit, okay, yeah, you're right, my bad. like we almost, everything is so like this, right? Like, it's like people you know, and from your, I don't get it as much in this company, but in our last company, I know exactly what you're talking about because I've had people make support tickets and 15 minutes later they're like, "Are you guys even answering these?" It's like, give me a second. Like, oh man, but that's funny. But yeah, you don't have to tell me the proper thing. Oh baby, the interesting guys. You know, we got up really close to the 794. We didn't quite hit it. We kind of have, I don't know, guys. Like, I'm intrigued to see how this plays out. So there's a theory of this whole V. It's very minute though to the V, but this would be your cluster. So if we sweep the cluster, reclaim the cluster, it would invalidate up. Other than that, it would drop. So let's see if it does. So we're back to that 37. Dun dun dun. Yeah. What did the high did we even get to? 93.25. Pretty close. Pretty close. I was just looking because one of my TPs was 93.25 and it didn't hit. Weird. Strange, but it'll likely come back up. I bet you this thing's gonna be an invalidation. But again, guys, back on the teaching, you know, I think there's a certain level of teaching that just needs to go on. Not just for doing the right thing of it, but you know, there's a lot of people pretending to know how to do things they don't really know how to do. And you have to see, if you can't watch somebody real time stare at a nasty bearish drop going, I'm thinking stop hunt, guys. I don't know. I'm not trusting this because if this is a key level Neo called 684 and we are absorbing into it and we drop and we absorb into it and we drop and we absorb into it, we drop and then we absorb into it, right? Like you can see here, boom. It should not be having so much buy pressure if it's going to just floor from there. And so plus we, you know, nice easy higher lows if you're loving the trend lines of sort. And but if you can't see someone real time call those things, then they probably don't know how to. So what I'm looking here, what's pivoting is, so this is that structure, guys, mentor group member. So measure the high and the low. This here tends to like to create a lower low unless it reclaims and holds the 50, then it creates a big jump. And so let's watch and see how that plays out. But the biggest theory that I push, that I teach heavily into the mentor side of it, is the market has to do certain things in order to validate certain things. And if it's doing things that are anomalies that don't make sense, like if we're in a bearish, think about this, right? Anybody out here, if I asked you, you probably would be like, oh, it's probably a bear flag. We got a drop, parallel, holding the 50, looks like it should drop. But if we're in a bear flag, why are we absorbing into the upper levels so hard? You know, it shouldn't be doing that. If there's a theory that I have that if the market is going to be bearish, it should act that way, right? If it doesn't act that way, that tells you something too. It's a trap. It tells you it's a trap. So for example, here we have absorption to the south, and then we have a little bit to the north. If it really wants to jump, this is supposed to be acting as support. Now this is also support. We shouldn't absorb into the support. So it tells me right off the bat that we're going to at least get one more pull. Now I want to see, how does this act here? Am I getting jumps? If I'm getting jumps with absorption, that tells me the buyers are defending that. A reclaim of that would give me that juice to push it. And so now that we've pushed through, if we get the close above here like that, now we have a push. We should not get absorption because we absorbed, we lost it. A close below an absorption candle should give expansion, and it didn't. It absorbed the other way. So tells you something, right? Even if you don't feel comfortable taking invalidations or traps, you don't want to, it might at least be enough to tell you, I'm not going to short this, right? If that makes sense. And so let's see. Let's see. Remember what I was telling you? I followed this structure so much. This cluster here, when we break this, we sweep that low, reclaim it with the high. It tends to be pretty pushed. So I want to see if it plays out. Nothing in the market is guaranteed, but I love to study to see if it works. So we're losing our 50, so that's not good for the strength that it should have had. Let's fib it. So 236 is here. 618 rejection. Could be normal. Let's look and see. What time we got? 10:23? We got done pretty early. I mean, there was two really good moves depending when you took them. Let's check in with Neo. Looks like the bulls are trying to fight to hold that 754. Do you suspect that they're going to hold that? Or you think the bears might take over? The bulls are doing a pretty good job trying to reclaim this drop. And then I'll jump into, I didn't really talk about what Neo is, or for those who don't know, I'll jump into that. I appreciate that, Bobby. I'm just not looking at it.
The bulls are putting up a fight near 754, but calling that a reclaim is like taking a victory lap before the race is actually over. Price is still grinding below the 29,760.74 to 29,781.98 overhead resistance cluster, and frankly, the bearish structure is still running the show while the institutional flow is just making everything messy. I wouldn't bet on 754 holding as a reclaim. The bears have the upper hand until price can actually accept above 29,781.98. Until then, these attempts look more like trap risk than a real trend change, and with the 10 a.m. news volatility still cooling down, I expect the bears to keep testing the downside toward 29,680.74.
Interesting. So 781 is what he's pivoting now to. So he wants a close and acceptance above 781. If we get a close and acceptance above 781, what would the long target be for that? See how we keep rejecting on that 50. Let's see. Kind of parallel. You guys see that?
The bulls trying to reclaim 29,781.98 is like asking for a raise on a Friday afternoon. It's going to take some serious persistence to actually pull it off. The long setup confirms only on a 1-minute candle close and hold above that 29,781.98 institutional
You only
pivot.
got 810 on
If that confirms, your first meaningful target is the 29,810.74 gamma resistance zone. A failed hold back below 29,781.98 is your first warning, while structural invalidation sits near the 29,738.21 support. Just don't get married to the trade. The news volatility from earlier is still whispering in the chart, and this could easily be a trap.
So 732 is our overall retracement from this pivot of play. So as long as we stay above 382, it's got more of an up risk than down. So be careful on shorts. Shorts, I think if we can sweep 37 down to the 0.5, hit the 382 and reject, then that would be better. But other than that, I wouldn't trust it right now. Because see how we're getting reclaims not even touching 382 yet. I mean, it might not be done. We could still sweep it, but let's see. But guys on TikTok, let me go through real quick while we're kind of watching this. I'm gonna pivot it because I do want to watch a little. Because I have a few longer term ones out there with some TPs I'm gonna watch. So we'll just slide that over. Again, if you are new to the channel, thanks for joining. Mostly done. You know, people took their trades. This is Neo. He's the AI that our company created, NextStepAlgo.com. This is TradeVision. That's what we're doing right now. So Neo is actually the AI across our whole site. We have Neo in our training. Neo will help teach you. You can ask questions in our training courses. That way you're going through your training and you're getting the full experience of making sure you understand it. Neo is also in our AI session here. You can see. So in our community on the left pane here, you're going to see we have live. These are all our sessions. Open session, TradeVision, training, mentor, and AI session. This is AI session. So this is our first
Hello,
Neo
I'm Neo. Let's capture
that
the
we
mood.
ever made. And we decided when we moved on to TradeVision, we decided just to leave him. And so he is free. Anybody can watch him. Anybody. You guys just go in. It's a stream, 5-minute stream. Every 5 minutes, he's going to populate a new update on the market. It's MNQ specific or NASDAQ specific. Yeah, Brandy. I'll finish this. Then I'll jump on that. So every 5 minutes, he's going to do an update. So we are not looking at this time to change it off of MNQ. So, only going to be viable for that, but it's free. And so with this being free, every 5 minutes, you're going to see an update. If you have the audio on, which is here, then he will actually read it to you. If you just want to kind of turn it on and listen, so you don't have to watch it. And, you know, we want to keep this free, I think, because it's so important to me that people have at least something to get started. If you don't have the funds to go out and just buy a bunch of different tools and such. And so I don't really have any intent of charging for this unless we start really modifying it. If we start to modify it and add, you know, more symbols or break down the structure a little differently, or we have to put a little more work into it, it'll require more things, and then we'll have to charge. But I don't have any intent on doing that because we're working on a lot of other things. So on that note, it will be a trade of 8 is what it's going to be connected to. No, he's talking about Steven. He's talking about when we do the automatic trading, not TradeVision. It's so we're gonna the one you'll connect to will be trade of 8, not Ninja Trader likely. We might be able to do that. I will have to ask Alex. I don't know because I'm in the same company, right? So yeah, he called the open. Oh yeah, he called the open. He called the open and the reclaim call too. But yeah, it'll be trade of 8, and then we'll have him trading options as well, which will likely be connected to Tasty Trade for those that want to have him trade options also. He's also going to be able to manage crypto portfolios. So typically like a Coinbase, you know, Binance US, things like that. So crypto is easy. We've done crypto before. It's not hard to do. So now he's giving his update.
Successfully
See?
reclaiming
There it
the
goes.
local support.
So you see, you know, we got another thing. He's saying bullish, 6 out of 10. Long entry would be there. Short entry would be there. So he's going to give that constant update. We do indicators. I didn't even have them on my screen today. I forgot we muted them. We just jumped right into it. But these purple blocks are really good. Those are the trapping blocks. So that a lot of people have been getting lately. Our indicators are not expensive. They're like $20. So if interested in indicators. But yeah, the primary thing that you guys saw today is TradeVision. Now to go into your question, Brandy, if you're still here, is we have 2 more project guys. So when we developed this company, we had a vision, and it's all almost there. Like we're almost there, and so we have 2 more major projects to finish. And so once we get those 2 projects done, then our plan is going to be, to, sorry, I want to look at one of my limit orders here. It's going to be to turn all of this into an app, put it on the App Store. That's the plan. We just didn't want to do that yet till we get it all built. And so these are our last kind of 2 phases before we jump into that, unless something else crazy changes. So the one you're asking about is the autopilot. You can see it's kind of starting to come together. It's just beta on it. You know, things may change from within, but you're going to see, you know, we're putting together that structure. So the autopilot is going to be Neo trading for you. He'll be able to execute trades for you. You're going to have, you know, full control of stopping out of the trade. You'll have full control of setting, you know, max stops or, you know, profits, or there's going to be a lot of customizable settings in there for you. We will also have pre-built ones that, you know, I recommend or Neo recommends or something like that for those that don't really know how to adjust settings. We'll put stuff like that in there likely. And then once we come out with that, guys, as you've seen what Neo does every day, it's going to be freaking awesome. Like I will not push this project too fast because that is where we're dealing with real money. So, so the funny part on that, your question on the VIP access, will it include automated trading? The VIP and the mentor group are the only two that will have access to it in the beginning, because we have to let like a wave come in. You know, we're dealing with money. You know, we're dealing with prop firm stuff. You know, depending on how you hook that up, and you're dealing with real money. You know, so we want to make sure it's we dot all our I's and cross all our T's with it. So mentor and VIP will be the first wave. Now, as far as when we roll it out outside of that, I don't know. We've committed to by the end of the year is what we're aiming for. But yeah, if you're looking for being in the automated trading, it's no extra cost for a VIP or a mentor. I will tell you though, VIP we've had discounted since launch. It's actually cheaper than the mentor program, but that coupon's going to get reduced because once the automated trading comes in, it's going to go up on the VIP. I've been saying that for some time, but I just keep extending it. And so if you're looking to do the automated trading and you want to get in at the better price, you're going to want to do that before we release it, which I'll tell you guys when we're about to up it. But we're not far, guys. You know. So the VIP you don't have to apply. You can just go in and sign up. So you just click on the VIP and anybody can sign up the VIP. The mentor program is the one you have to apply for. That's the one you got to apply for. So, and we just got another one in yesterday. And so we have 48 out of 50. I have a few approved that didn't commit. Let me check. I like to give you guys the real number. We have a private group chat, so I just lean on that for now. So we have 45 members in the chat on that. And so there's 5 spots left. So that's the one you got to apply for. We get on a call, we talk, you know, make sure the program's right for you. The biggest difference is just, you know, VIP is like an unlock the site access. The mentoring portion is that one-on-one, you get my cell phone number. You know, I kind of take a personal mission to really help everybody in that program. And so we're a really tight family in there. I love kind of the energy that goes on in there. Everybody helps everybody. It's amazing. And so there's a lot of perks that come with the mentorship program that I don't talk about on the site because I want people in the mentor program that are really looking to grow, evolve, to learn outside the box, because I don't trade like most traders and I don't teach like most people teach. You're not going to get in the mentor program let me teach you something you could Google. Right? I'm teaching you things that I learn outside of the norm. So, and that's what goes on in the industry. Everybody just kind of, let me teach you this advanced trading that if you knew how to interpret it, you could probably Google or YouTube. And so that's part of the mentor program. And there is different things that you get in there that I don't talk about. I don't want to talk about all the deeper perks because I don't want people joining just because of the perks. I want you joining because you want to be part of a little private, you know, family, and you want to grow along as a trader. So let me yeah, so let me mute him. He's gonna, I might have
Hey
him.
Nick,
Nope.
I'm strapped in.
There you go, mute him. Yeah, so you will go in and click the apply, and then I will email you. So I will tell you, I email people pretty quickly. I will, like, if you clicked it now, you'll get an email from me right when I get off this thing here in about 20 minutes. I have time today. Tuesdays I don't really do much. I just work on stuff. And so if you guys have time today and you're interested, like I said, I have 5 spots left. So I'm willing to schedule you guys in for people that are serious about wanting to join into that. But if you've watched kind of what I do and you like kind of, in a sense, how I trade and teach and break this down a little different, and you're looking for something different outside the box, I think it will be a good fit for you. You don't have to have a lot of experience. We have plenty of new people in there. I will say shout out to Paul, because we did get about 4 or 5 new people recently, like new, and he for the mentor portion only, he is going to create a Tuesday class at 8:30. So tonight at 8:30. So if you are newer and you join in today, right, then you'll be able to partake in that class. And so Paul is really, really good. I taught Paul how to trade, I think, like 3 years ago, and he does really, really well. And so he's very analytical, and he's good with a lot of things like the charts, the tools, things like that. And so he decided, with how many people that are coming in that are new, to take a little off my plate while we build some tools to help more. He had said that he would do that class, so each Tuesday. So it's awesome for him to do that. And so, but yeah, if you're interested, take a look at that. I'll look and see. I can see when you guys apply. So I see I have one already on there. So yep, I see yours. I will send you an email, and we'll get together today if you're available. And let's see, where else? We got 20 minutes. So kind of a little furthermore, you guys see we build in here. We love technology. You guys can see, those who have built AI know Neo's very different. We have a very, very unique and special team that we build with. So Alex, my longtime friend and coder, is really experienced in coding, and he can build damn near anything. My mind, I've talked about it a few times. I found out about a year ago that, I have the old fun ADHD, which is not shocking when I look back at my childhood. And so anybody who has that knows I'm kind of the visionary, because my mind doesn't stop thinking about possibilities, and it's why I love trading, because I have that portion of it where I see things that others might not see. The patterns, the structures. My mind is, even as I'm talking like this, I'm already formulating other things in my mind, right? I can watch the chart while having full-blown discussions, and people have seen that, where I will be talking and we'll be full deep into something, and I'm like, oh, this is about to break north, guys, and people will say, like, I didn't even know you were watching that. It's like, I just see another corner of my eye. And so it's, many people know what I mean by this, but it's kind of like the curse, but yet a superpower as well. So, but Girk, what's up, man? This is Girk in our open session here. I don't know if you put your hand up, or yeah.
Hey, Nick.
What's up?
Yeah. No, I wanted to chime in and
Yeah.
kind of relate to that, as far as just give anybody some reassurance of understanding. It doesn't matter if you are a long-term trader and struggling, or trying to find something different, or locking in your strategies and everything. I mean, Nick, you've opened up. I've been doing this for years, and it doesn't matter. It's even better sometimes if you're newer, because you're getting taught the proper way to understand the market structure. And Nick, you're amazing at what you teach, and I give
Appreciate
you so
it.
much credit. And ADHD is a gift. Yeah.
Yep.
Like we were saying earlier, I'm over analytical as well. And if you're that type of trader that really just wants to know the why, that you're in the right place. And that's always fascinated me. And but at the same time, like I said, if you're a new trader, I mean, you're basically just advancing yourself through a lot of hardship and learning all these little things that eventually you're going to end up realizing that it's going to take all this time for you to master. But the structure, just like Neo says, I could put lines on the wall, none of it matters without the price action. And what you teach is the price action, man. And I know we all appreciate you. I just wanted to put that out there for anybody, whether they're new or old. I mean, it's this. You say out of the box, but to me, it's actually, you teach how it actually works, and it's an amazing thing. And I appreciate you, buddy.
Awesome, man. I appreciate those words. And that the feedback is awesome. When you guys all kind of give that, it was very important to me when, and some of you know the history of why, that when we created this company, that we actually measure our success based on the success of the students, the people in the community. And I just I definitely would not stop working or looking to find better things or ways to teach or what to do, if people were not reporting success. Now, there's nothing guaranteed in trading. Even people in the mentor group still take losses. I still take losses. I mean, there's nothing guaranteed in trading. But what I mean by success is just growth. You know, many people have mentioned passing their first prop firms or getting their first payouts, or like that stuff's huge. You know, talking to Paul yesterday, that was really cool when it was mentioned on there. I don't know if Paul's even on here. Let me see. I don't think Paul is. But it was really cool. You know, one of the awesome compliments that he gave was that he had two, I think he said one or two mentors before, and kind of got burned, not to go deep into the story of it, by them. So, you know, skeptical mentors. And so he watched me for a month in open session. I didn't even really know. He said he didn't really talk. And just in the open session one, and he passed some evals, and I think he said he got a payout from it as well. And so, you know, to me, that's awesome. You know, that's what I want to hear. And that's just in the open session part. So he ended up joining the mentor program, which is really, really cool. Definitely happy to have him here. Guys, this is right here. Look, if you look at it, it's trying to look very bearish, and yes, it could pull back because we do have the 50%. But what I'm more looking at, I'm gonna digress here a second. That would be our 57.15 if it sweeps it. But what I'm more interested in is the fact that we have a push with an ugly looking parallel. See this? This is what sticks out to my crazy mind while we were all talking. Is that? And so the market loves to stay parallel. So if I see a pull absorption push and we start to reclaim, that's likely what's happening. If it sweeps this and the 715 and loses it, then it's not, right? So we want to just kind of see, there's the sweep, there's the absorption. How cool would that be if we just absorb, close above, like there it is. And so, but guys, we have 15 minutes left, and then we jump into our afternoon session. So I trade with the look at it do it. I trade with the mentor and the VIP in the afternoon from 11 to 1 usually. If we need to go past 1 because of training or the market structure is good, I mean, we've stayed all the way to 4. You know, if it's a great learning moment, then I'm gonna stay on that. And so VIP and mentor are able to join that. So if you wanted to join this afternoon, you just sign up to the VIP. The mentoring calls, I don't do them till after that. And so if you made that application in there, then I will email you here pretty soon. But it will likely be a like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock kind of thing. And so, you know, kind of keep that in mind. First one that kind of responds back, you know, you get the 1 o'clock and then the 2 o'clock and then 3 o'clock. And so that's likely what I'll do today, guys, for you. So look at that play it out perfect. Almost to a T. I'll tell you, watch, this is going to be cool. This is where people get blindsided because you look at this and you just see deep bearishness. And then you get this and then you get caught. You know, we haven't broken critical things we have to break for it to really play out, but that little push kind of is. What we want to see, just leave you guys with this, is that 50. And so we had a deep push from it. With this one, I'll leave you with, if it's going to be bullish and explode, it shouldn't really break the 382, but definitely not the 0.5. If it does, 618 is like the last leg. So that's where you get those fakes and then reclaims. But yeah, so far it's flying out. Pretty cool. And this is going to be an interesting one, guys, because if this truly breaks out, now, mind you, there could be another oscillation. No, it doesn't mean to the moon. It could just do this, right? But since we have some last time, I'll explain that. Yeah, this time frame is 15 seconds. I'll explain that also in a second. What I like to look for before a pattern is going to potentially break is I want to see a push, a halfway hold like this, and then that'll tell me we're ready to pop. If we're getting buy pressure off the halfway hold, but could just go. Yeah, I mean, that was a beautiful stop hunt on the 37 and then the reclaim. Again, you know, I have 13 minutes before we got to leave. So if you guys have questions, by all means, feel free to ask them. I will touch base on that. I'm going to give you guys this little, for anybody out there that's been trading for a little while, this is something I will argue until I'm blue in the face here. and I proved it over and over and over. The reason why, I cannot tell you, I think I'm literally 100%, like 80 for 80. I don't know how many times I've done it. I'll go on somebody's live and they're talking about the 1 hour and the 15 minute, and you should not trade below the 5 minute, and you should not trade below. And every now and then I'll just go, I trade the 15-second, and people go ballistic. They're like, you're nuts. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, you might want to get checked out, kind of conversation. And it's because people, they don't open their minds to trading to understand what it all actually means. And so, yes, I agree with you. If I am trading normal, like most people tell you, if you look here, this might give you a little anxiety because it's going to go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And if you're used to higher time frames, it's going to make you nuts because it happens so fast. And you're used to a 5-minute candle taking forever to breach the high or the low, or a 15-minute or 1 hour, even worse. And to watch this thing breach highs and lows like crazy will give you a little anxiety. I mean, it's just a fact. And look at this push up. Bam, like clockwork. But here's what people forget. And I'm going to give you also something to test. I have tested thousands of hours of candles and trading and everything. And Heikinashi, if you read it correctly, is just the better way to go. It just is. Now, there's certain strategies that you need to use candles, like if you're a CRT person or something like that, like you got to have the true range of the candle. But I love Heikinashi because I can see the true pivot. Everything is about that pivot. It's not candle to candle. It's what the candle's doing within that pivot of the move. But what people forget about, if you freak out about 15-second, when I zoom out, and let's do this. I did this exercise the other day. So my right side is the 1 minute. Okay. My left side is the 15-second. If I were to do it like this, is there really much difference? It's still a push. It's still a bull flag. It's still a push. It's still a bull flag, right? So zoomed in is my 15-second view. Now I'm in my 1 minute view. Now, if I wanted to flip this to, say, a 5 minute, and I wanted to zoom out, this would be my 5 minute structural view. Well, guess what? I could still see that too, just by doing that. And guess what? I'm still in the 15-second. So I can train my eyes to see that this is a higher time frame play, a higher time frame structure that's trying to play out. Guys, see, we broke this channel. It broke it as testing. If it can hold the 382 or the 0.5, it'll jump, but if it loses it, it'll drop. And so don't get too caught up on time frames, guys. Like I almost borderline roll my eyes when I get those videos that come across that say, if you're trading on less than an hour, like you're doing it wrong, and you should never, and you should, like, the amount of globalization that goes into trading, meaning, traders, coaches, mentors, creators, I see it everywhere. And give me 1 second, and then I'll answer. Is they want to globalize everything. If you're doing this, then you're doing it wrong. If you're doing this, then you're doing it wrong. Really, the only thing that is wrong, whether you're doing it right or not, is if you're losing. So, but I see it so global, guys, and it's so sad because there's so many new traders that come across my feed that I will comment on, and I look at the comments and they're like, go to here and learn this and learn that and do this and learn this. And I'm like, oh, like they setting up for failure, because they're just, not that it can't work and the people saying that aren't profitable, but it's just not that easy, that they're making it seem. And that person is going to spend years of realizing very quickly that it's not that easy. And fun fact too, guys, I will comment on people's videos, and I do my best not to make it sound sales pitchy, but I do not. And I'm like 0 for 130, I think. I've not had one person actually respond or even reply to my comment about being willing to show them a different way, And so Nice. Try look at this. I'm new. Think I found something. What are you looking at when the Asia London Open? And so what I usually do, I have an indicator I use for that, but I don't really show it because it's got a lot of lines. And so, but yeah, I'm very familiar with the sessions. If you had a question on that, so we have our Asia high here, EU London high here, US high here. All that's broken in our indicator.
Hey, and you know what, Nick? Like
Yeah.
with the moves we have today compared to years ago, the 5 minute chart as far as the moves are equivalent to a 15-second chart nowadays.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and the funny part, guys, is like I'm not really going crazy aggressive with it, but um, I have a plan. I treat I trade my real money, but I trade my prop firms a little different. And like today, so yesterday I took it ended up being like a $3,200 payout from my funded, and then I had another rapid that I got paid on, but I ended up swinging a little on that one. That one broke. So I just got the one left on this one. I'm not really pushing. I didn't put any more. But I'm up like 800 on that one, and that's all payable today. So I'm just low. I'm only 3 MNQ. I'm not really pulling it. My Lucids I am pairing. I'm up 1,000 on that. So you figure times 5, I'm up 5 grand. I really haven't gone up much since the pre-market trades because I just been kind of laddering defensively. And within that, but I'll get those up pretty good. So here pretty soon, I think. Oh, but anyways, guys, like I said, if you want to learn different, if you want to truly learn from someone who is not only focused on what course I can sell you next, you're in a good spot because what I'm really trying to do, I mean, I know I do mentoring and all that stuff, but I want to create a tool, which is Neo. If we have a Neo in here, then I can teach you as much as I want because most people are gonna want to stick around just to have the guidance and levels from Neo. I have like 20, 30-year traders that are still using Neo. It's funny. They're like, I'm lazy. Why do I want to do this? Yeah, I can definitely explain that to an extent. I'll explain why, but yeah, why not have AI that can use to teach you to do things even quicker? So, and so I don't really need to hold back on my training, on what I teach you guys. I don't need to kind of fluff you with stuff to keep you in a loop of training guidance forever. And so I just want to look at one thing here, guys. But the as far as the differences, because we do have 5 minutes left, guys. Again, just a quick recap. This is TradeVision Neo. We do a 3-day free trial. I know a bunch of people dropped off, so it's okay. If you guys haven't tried Neo, go try them. It's 3 days free. All you do is go to TradeVision, click the little red button that'll be there, and subscribe to our YouTube, and you could be using them in the next minutes. As far as prices go, I'll answer that one also. Basic is $100 a month. Pro is $250. Neo, guys, is far more than a signal caller. With that price and subscription, you are getting a signal caller, trade management, mentor, guide, develop. He's got full memory. I've had multiple people tell me that their strategy was about an 80% win rate, and Neo, after 2 weeks of talking to him, literally got to where their strategy with refinements is like 95% plus. Yeah, well, that answers your question right there. Yeah, he doesn't care if you have a strategy. He's going to help you. He'll actually help you improve it, or he'll tell you that it's good. And so I can tell him, like, hey, I'm doing my final closing. Fantastic day. You called that opening drop, which a lot of people were bullish. So I love that you nailed that one. I think you saved a lot of people from getting wrecked. A lot of good profit taken from it. That low of the 684 reclaim trap that we talked about also gave a really good long. So overall, it was a fantastic session. I'm up about 6,000, so nothing crazy, but hey, I'll take it. All right. I like to give him a feedback on his thing because, guys, he self-analyzes, so he's
Nick,
got to know
you're
when it
killing
worked
me with
well.
nothing crazy comment. $6,000 is a fantastic session by anyone's standards. Glad you actually waited for that inflating trap instead of guessing. That kind of patience is why you're walking away with profit while the bulls and bears
Yeah,
are busy
Brandy, you
donating
can.
to the market makers.
It's
Shut
free to
it
try.
down and enjoy the win. The institutional flow is mixed and compression risk is getting weird anyway, so walking away now is easily the smartest trade you'll make all day. See you tomorrow.
Compression risk is... Did anybody else think, Nick, you're killing me with your nothing crazy? Guys, I'm going to tell you, I don't do it intentionally to downplay. I'm a firm believer that you should be humble with anything that the market will give you. And I don't care how big it is or how small it is. I will literally $200 in profit, nothing crazy. It can be $20,000. It was a good day, nothing, I don't like to, it's how I control my own emotions where I don't get overly excited because if I'm in here going, whew, man, guys, I'm on 6K. Like, man, let's see if we can grow this thing. Like, it just creates you always got to just stay unemotional. I don't care how much you make. Stay unemotional, right? So, but I think it's funny he called me out for it, though, jerk. But yeah, let me let's do this really quick. Let's see. I'm gonna just copy your comment, guys. Let's do this for a few minutes, and then we are 11, and then I will explain the differences. I did not forget about that deeper, and I did say we'll get together
I'm
later
not a
today and talk about
sentient
it.
robot plotting to take your job, Nick. I don't learn strategies, but I can keep track of your goals, what you're working on, and where you tend to trip up so we can focus on
I forgot to say it was from
The
TikTok.
exact recipe under the hood stays private, but that is the trader-facing picture.
Let's see. Sorry, I meant to say that was from TikTok. We're closing up on the TikTok stream. Somebody had asked if they were to use you to help them. Can you help them be a better trader or refine their strategy to make it better? Look at that 803 rejection, almost perfect. So
tell your TikTok chat that I'm not a get-rich-quick button or a signal factory. My job is to be the teammate that forces them to justify their trade ideas with structure, confirmation, and risk management instead of just guessing. If they want to learn how to identify where price is actually likely to go, instead of where they hope it goes, then we'll get along just fine. Tell them to bring a chart, not just a feeling.
yeah, that makes sense. I think the biggest question or concern is that you have your data and your strategies and thesis and all that, and I know you stick to the data, but some people that are coming in, they have their own strategy, and so they're just asking if you can help them. If they explain it to you, can you tell them if it's a good strategy or not, or help them refine it? He's being extra sassy today. I was going to end it with, don't give me attitude.
Look, Nick, I don't give out participation trophies for trading strategies. If they want to throw their plan at me, they need to bring the actual entry rules, the confirmation logic, and where they get out when they're wrong, not just a vibe. I'll stress test it against live market structure, liquidity, and risk to see if it's a real system or just an expensive way to donate to the market. The exact recipe under the hood stays private, but that is the trader-facing picture.
He's dancing around it, but yes, he will help you on that. And he will actually, like I said, have memory, guys. So I always love to do this because it's fun. So I do a lot of testing with Neo. I do a lot of TikTok questions and comments and things like that. And so in my memory, I'm pretty sure he thinks I'm bipolar at times because, 1 minute we're talking retracement and extensions, and the next minute we're talking about what is a candle and a wick. So but let's see. I gotcha. People are asking about if you can help remember and develop. Give them an example, and can you break down what your memory has for me as what I do well and what I need to improve on as a trader? We'll give this one more example, and then I'm going to mention the other thing on there. So, Shauna. And then we'll go. It's not in a great price range right now, anyways. So
here's the example you can tell the chat. When people ask if I help, it's like having an annoying backseat driver who actually knows how to read a map. If you come to me and scream, the chat says buy, buy, buy. I'm going to stop you, show you the bearish order block sitting right above price, point out the trap risk, and force you to wait for a structural reclaim. I keep you from turning your account into a donation bucket for the market makers. As for what I've got on you, Nick, you've proven you can actually sit on your hands and wait for a breakout confirmation, which is the hardest part of this whole circus. Your execution on setups, like that 300-point profit run, shows you've got the
We got
guts
that
when
the
the
other
chart
day, remember?
aligns. The stuff you need to fix? Stop treating news headlines in your stream sentiment like holy scripture. The market doesn't care what your TikTok followers think. It cares about liquidity and structure. Also, keep your Fibonacci tools straight. You keep confusing your entry tools, retracements, with your target tools, extensions. That's just extra work you don't need. Fix the
think it's
focus,
funny,
ditch the hype, and you'll stop making this look harder than it has to be.
So I love how what he said there, because knowing what's kind of in the back end, it's telling me what he's remembering. So we caught a 300-point move the other day, so he's remembering that, which is cool. That was a bit back. He is attacking me a little bit on the TikTok because I'm always on here going TikTok, right? The Fibonacci part, I've gotten into arguments about this with him on the side while I'm testing him, where he'll tell me that we're bullish and I'm thinking we're bearish, and then I will explain the retracement and the tools. And so it's cool to see that he remembered that. And then the news, because obviously with you guys, I'm constantly, hey, where are we going? What's the setup? Give me my lines. And he keeps repeating, we have news and shouldn't be trading. So it's pretty funny actually. Yeah, I put this 382 here, guys. So if we get the 382, we got the absorption and the close, but it lost that 236. So I want to see a push, pull, hold, and then that will give expansion. Otherwise, it may break down if it doesn't do that. But again, he's got the memory. The final thing I'm going to do on TradeVision here, just because I think it's hilarious if he does it. He's been a little sassy today, so let's see. Got it. One of the coolest things that you did, I want to show them, is can you give your best impression of a retail trader that is trying to trade before a news event, and your interpretation of what that would look like as a human doing that? Let's see. I'm going to add a little extra. When he does these, sometimes I have him on funny, so a lot of times he's really funny. I want to see what he does. Genuinely curious.
Grab some popcorn, because this is the I'm totally about to blow my account for no reason special. Deep breath, rapid fire, high pitch, frantic clicking. Okay, the CPI number is in 10 seconds. Just smash long. Wait, no, short, short, short. Why is the candle wicking? Where's my stop? I don't have a stop. Stops are for the weak. Uncensored frustration. It's a 50-point wick. I'm broke. I'm bankrupt. Wait, is it green now? I'm a genius. I knew it all along. Click, click, click. Okay, now I'm long again. The tragic comedy there is that they're confusing gambling at a slot machine with trading. If your heart rate is higher than the candle volatility, you're not doing analysis. You're just making a charitable donation to the market house. The most profitable news trade is usually the one you sit on your hands for while everyone else is panicking.
Man, I love, we stumbled upon that one time that he would do that, because he's AI, so he'll do whatever you want him to do. See the weakness of there and then the breakdown. Oh, did he nail any of you guys there? Like panic, I'm bankrupt, I'm gonna lose it all. Oh my gosh, wait, I'm green, closing it. I'm a genius. I knew the whole time. Anyways, guys, again, on the question on the differences between the VIP and the mentor, I'm gonna explain a little different for you. Maybe I'll help you understand more. When we actually were not going to do a VIP at all. We decided to do a VIP because when I was doing the mentor program, I had certain things I wanted to put in that program, but I can only take so many because otherwise it dilutes the program. And so there's things that, again, I don't promote, so I'm not going to overly discuss that the mentorship gets, that we just have to discuss on the call when we meet. But I'm going to tell you, it's a lot, more than comes through the site. VIP was something we created because it's just bad business to say, hey, there's this, all access to the site kind of thing, but you only get 50 of them. It doesn't make sense. And so with the VIP, it's basically this similar to the mentor, but as you can see here, right, you get to join the mentor and VIP sessions. You get to join you don't, when you're on VIP, you don't pay for any of the trading courses. All of our algos, pretty much it's a site access unlock in a sense. And so when watchlist comes out, when autopilot comes out, you don't pay for anything. It's not only what we have now, but it's future. So anything we create in the future, as long as you're a subscriber, you will get it. So when we launched, we had specific prices we wanted things to be. And then we decided on launch that we would coupon them down heavily while we develop. So as we develop, this price especially is going to go up for sure. So for sure, probably next month, I would probably say, based on where the automation is. And so if now what the VIP doesn't get is VIP doesn't get my number. They don't get the one-on-ones. They don't get the beta testing for certain things. They don't get a few other little perks that like I said we can discuss. So it's more of a site unlock access. Like you get access to anything that we create as far as that goes. So if that makes sense. But guys, again, to respect the VIP time and the mentor, you see that bull flag fail, guys, that I taught you guys in the mentor. Couldn't reclaim the top loss. Bam. We're going to jump over. So appreciate you guys' time. I don't think I'll be live tonight, but I may. It just depends how my night goes and how my testing and all that stuff. I don't usually go live on Tuesday, Asia. If I do go live, it'll likely be for the Mentor VIP, not necessarily TikTok. And so, but we'll see. Wednesdays and Thursdays, I've been going live on Asia.